By this time in 2023, I can say that we're not really surprised by a lot of the modern older women who are competing with younger women, half their age. You see them all over TikTok, competing with their daughters, and even granddaughters participating in dance challenges, need challenges, and everything else, attempting to show off in front of an audience on social media, prove that they are still attractive and try to convince people that they are even more attractive than their daughters and women that's younger than them. You can tell a lot of them live for the validation of social media. It's one thing we can all admit: these women are not your grandmothers from 30-40 years ago. Not at all. Aging is certainly a natural process, and it happens to everyone lucky enough to live long enough to go through the cycles of life. As for women, you have some who prefer to age gracefully and embrace the natural changes that come with growing older, while other women may use plastic surgery to maintain a more youthful look. Years the girl-only folks in Hollywood could access doctors for these procedures, but within the last 10-15 years, your average woman has more and more access to cosmetic surgeons' easy access affordability, mixed in with a sense of competition or pressure to maintain their appearance as they age. Those are just some of the reasons for more middle-aged modern women electing to have these procedures. One grandmother made that tough decision when she traveled from Indiana to Florida and never made it back home alive. She left behind 11 grandchildren. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. April 2022. That's when 45-year-old Tanisha Walker, mother of 4, grandmother of 11, wanted to get in better shape, so she decided to get plastic surgery. She told her family that she was going for a breast reduction, but her plans changed after a local doctor denied her surgery due to her high BMI. That doctor did not want to risk operating on Tanisha, so she ended up with Dr. Simmons at New Life Plastic Surgery, and she ended up getting liposuction in a BBL instead. Dr. Simmons accepted Tanisha as a patient. He had no issues with her BMI, according to New Life Plastic Surgery. Tanisha went in surgery at 9:35 a.m. An hour and a half later, she was out of surgery and placed into a New Life Plastic Surgery recovery room at 11:05 am. Nearly 3 hours later, just before 2 p.m., New Life Plastic Surgery discharged Tanisha into the care of a recovery home business ran by 44-year-old Charlie Butler called Chasing Dreams Recovering Home. Tanisha found out about Charlie through New Life Plastic Surgery. That's who recommended her to the business. She was supposed to go to that recovery home after she left the surgery center, but according to Charlie, Tanisha told them that she was lightheaded and felt really sick, so instead of taking her to the recovery home, Charlie transporting Tanisha to the hospital. Unfortunately, after 3 days in the hospital, Tanisha passed away. Good evening once again. Thanks for joining us tonight. The family of an Indiana woman who died after a plastic surgery procedure is the latest family looking for answers about how this could all happen. NBC6 reporter Julie Leonardi is live at Miami-Dade Police Headquarters.
Good evening once again. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, the family of an Indiana woman who died after a plastic surgery procedure is the latest family looking for answers about how this could all happen.
NBC6 reporter Julie Leonardi is live at Miami-Dade Police Headquarters, where officers are investigating what happened in a story that we've been reporting only on NBC6. Hi, Julie.
Hi. Well, this family is just absolutely devastated. They say that Walker leaves behind a huge family. That's why many of those family members flew from Chicago to Miami today to meet with police, and they're hoping they find some answers.
Where officers are investigating what happened in a story that we've been reporting only on NBC6. Hi, Julie. Hi. Well, this family is just absolutely...
This is my first time seeing her since she passed, and when I got to her, she was like weak in the knees. So it's really hard for her right now, and I could just imagine, because she has, her youngest is 19.
Tanisha devastated. They say that Walker leaves behind a huge family. That's why many of those family members flew from.
She was just a patient person. Like, she was always open and willing to do anything for anybody. So this really hit us hard, because she was a really big person in our family.
Chicago to Miami today to meet with police, and they're hoping they find some answers. Tanisha Walker's family, now dealing with a huge loss. Her niece just arrived in Miami meeting her cousin Walker's oldest daughter to sort things out. This is my first time seeing her since she passed, and when I got to her, she was like weak in the knees, so it's really hard for her right now, and I could just imagine, because she has her youngest is 19. Tanisha Middleton, Walker's niece, says her aunt was just 45 years old and A mother of 4 with 11 grandchildren, she was just a patient person, like she was always open and willing to do anything for anybody. So this really hit us hard, because she was a really big person in our family. She says Walker cared for the entire family and was always there when they needed her. They supported her flying to Miami for plastic surgery. Walker had a Brazilian...
By the time she got back to the front seat, my aunt was on her knees because of the procedure, and she said that her head dropped.
Butt lift, or BBL, and liposuction, done by a doctor at New Life Plastic Surgery. A BBL is a popular plastic surgery procedure in which fat is taken from undesired parts of the body and injected into the butt or back. The clinic New Life Plastic Surgery tells NBC6 that Walker's procedure went as expected and was a success. The clinic says she went...
Now, New Life today again telling us the timeline of that surgery and that pickup. Meantime, that family, they tell us they're at the hospital and they're hoping to be able to identify the body today. She says the doctor that performed that surgery has offered to pay for the family's funeral expenses. Live in Durrell, Julie Leonardi, NBC6 News.
In at 9:35 m and was transferred to the recovery room at 11:05 m. She was discharged and picked up by the driver of a recovery center called Chasing Dreams just before 2. The owner of Chasing Dreams was the one who picked up Walker from the clinic. She says Walker felt sick, so she drove her straight to the hospital. About the time she got back to the front seat, my aunt was on her knees because of the procedure, and she said that her head dropped. Middleton says her aunt died at the hospital, but says New Life told her she died while in the care of the recovery center. In an exclusive interview, the family of the first patient told NBC6 she died in February after her blood clot ended up in her lungs almost 2 weeks after her surgery. She had undergone a liposuction and tummy...
Well, a little over 2 months after a woman died following a plastic surgery procedure at a plastic surgery clinic, the owner of the recovery home where that woman was supposed to go afterwards has just been arrested.
And she's accused of operating that home illegally. NBC6 reporter Julie Leonardi spoke to the daughter of the woman who passed away. Julie, what did she have to say?
Yeah, I did. Well, her mother, 47-year-old Tanisha Walker, traveled to Miami for plastic surgery back in April. Now, she died following that procedure. Her family, of course, is devastated. Now, since we last told you this story, a lot has happened. Her family has laid her to rest. They've since hired an attorney. Now, another part of this story is now unfolding, but her daughter says this new arrest is something they saw coming.
We really miss our mom. I'm still in disbelief.
Tanisha Walker's daughter says their family is still grieving.
She loved her family, period. Like, she was a caring, loving person. Mom would get a shirt off her back. I just feel like she was robbed of life.
Tuck with a different doctor. Now New Life today again telling us the timeline of that surgery and that pickup. Meantime, that family, they tell us they're at the hospital and they're hoping to be able to identify the body today. She says the doctor that performed that surgery has offered to pay for the family's funeral expenses. Live in Darrell, Julie Leonardi. NBC6 News. New Life Plastic Surgery said that Tanisha's surgery was a success. They said they released her to the recovery home and she passed away in the care of...
I feel like it's only the beginning of the truth coming out.
The recovery home, not the plastic surgery center. That's the story they gave to the police during the investigation, immediately placing all the blame on Charlie. Charlie said that
she told me that one of the ladies from the surgery center gave her the information to their recovery home. And that's how my mom reached...
She was not responsible for Tanisha's passing, and she took her straight to the hospital from New Life Plastic Surgery, because during transport, Tanisha passed out in the truck and became unresponsive after Charlie picked her up. The investigation led police to look more into Charlie and her recovery home business Chasing Dreams, where Charlie was charging women $200 per night to stay at a recovery home in Miami